Hi everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Oh, I forgot to fill my water. I'll be right back. In the meantime, let's see if I can put my links so that my bot has time to actually put them. I'm sorry, my nose is still a little bit stuffed. So hi again. Right here we have my Etsy shop if you want to check out my crochet items. That's where it's at. I have a lot of plushies, and I also have um some shawls and some other fun stuff. I have patterns, a few. If you want to check out my patterns, actually, maybe it's better to go on Rebler, which is in the description. But I have some stuff over there too. And here is my Ko-fi. Just give it a second to appear. Right now I'm having a bunch of money problems, so if you want to tip me for this live stream, if you're entertained, um, that would be really appreciated. I don't have a lot of money right now. I'm really struggling with that. So if you can help out, that's over there. So um I'll wait a few minutes to show you my hand-dyed yarns. Since I kind of want people to be here um, when I do. Right now we don't have anyone joining, so I will work in the meantime. That's what I will do. Okay, I really hate that every time I reduce the window now, it always makes it smaller. No, I don't mean the window. That's what I expect. But the text didn't used to do that. It used to stay the same size and to just adapt to the size of the window. But now it becomes so small that I can't read it anymore, and it makes it so I can't crochet during my live streams without having the full pattern page open, which means I can't see the comments. So if I miss comments or anything, that's because of that. Right now I have reduced it, so I can't really see the instructions. But sometimes I'm probably gonna have to check the whole pattern. Like right now, I try to make it as big as I can, but it doesn't work as well anymore. They changed the way Acrobat Reader did that. It was easier before. I don't know. Like right now, it's okay-ish, but it's not as big as I would need it. Okay. It's really annoying because my roommate opened this window in his room, and I can't go and like just close it, but it's like super cold, so I have to put all the heaters up, but then it's too hot because the weather is changing. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm back, for now at least. But yeah, my roommate like just keeps doing stupid stuff, such as opening windows when we have heaters on, and he's costing me hundreds of dollars in electricity because he doesn't pay half the bill. He pays a set price for rent. Oh, okay. I'm just gonna have to try to blow my nose again. But we're gonna have to wait and see if some people join. Because I don't want to just like show my yarns in the void. Nobody watches my replays, so it's not really like it wouldn't really be useful for me to just show it to nobody. So if you want to say hello to me and chat with me, please do. People never chat to me, and it's like, I don't know, maybe I'm just boring, but it's, I don't know. But if you stop by, just say hello, even if you're lurking, which I do appreciate lurkers, but like sometimes I feel a little bit lonely, and I feel like maybe I'm just not interesting to watch at all, because people don't say hi. They just, I see a number, like, which means someone is leaving me running, but I don't know. I don't want to be too like picky with that. I know that it's not nice to ask, um, but yeah. What really helps a channel grow is interaction. Just watching numbers and all helps you if your goal is to get monetized, but it doesn't help you with reach. You're not shown more when you are watched. You're shown more when people comment, when they chat, and everything like that. And people figured this out after a while because yeah, now that's just how the algorithm works. You're being shown more when people are in your chat and interacting. So I'm not trying to like coax you into doing that or anything, but just explaining how YouTube works. Anyway, it's like really hot, but I can't take this off. Um, Otherwise, my hands start to freeze because I have a bunch of conditions that make it so. I'll be right back. Anyway, I hope everyone's having a good Saturday. Me, not so much. I have a lot of work to do and I'm not feeling good. Um, like I said, I don't have a lot of money right now. So I have to pace myself with food. I can't eat up to what I should eat. Like I can eat a little bit every day. I'm down to one meal a day right now because I want to try to make it last as long as possible because I have only like $10 in my bank account right now. So that's going to buy me a small bag of rice and that will be all. And I have like a Stripe payment coming in Monday, but that's going to have to go towards my bill, which is right now it's really high. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I really hate that I'm coming on YouTube and just talking about that all the time. 'Cause I feel like people are not really wanting to hear about that. So I'm sorry that I don't have nice things to say. I just that's my life right now. All I do is stress about money and try to make more to be able to eat. So I'm sorry that I don't really have nice things to talk about. Like I can't watch fun movies and talk about them. I can't read or talk about them because literally everything I do from when I wake up to when I go to bed is think about that. Because I like you can't just stop and have fun when you're needing, you know. People don't realize that they're like just think about something else and stop being a downer, but that's just the reality of it. Every waking hour becomes about that when you don't have what you need. And that I'm not trying to like have pity or anything, but just to explain to people who have never been in such a situation. When I started college, I didn't know how to pace myself with money. I was being manipulated by friends to pay things for them, etc. And also, for the rest of the month, like the first week, I would spend my whole allowance, and then the rest of the month, I had to eat only like one chocolate bar a day, one candy bar a day, and I'm not even joking about this. I had a very manipulative friend, and people like to blame me for that, but really, when you have a person manipulating you like that, and it's especially true when you're disabled and things like that, people like to take advantage of your good nature. They're like, because it's really hard for you to be liked because you're so different and weird, and people don't really want to be around you. So you think that if you pay them off, like that's not what I thought, but I thought I had to do that in order to have friends. Otherwise, it's just lonely. No one wants to be around you. So get a feel like that. And I wasn't diagnosed or anything, but I felt that I was just not someone people wanted to be around. And so I'm not even joking when I say this. I would spend my whole allowance of the month on friends, trying to get them to stay my friends basically. And the rest of the month, I would just eat chocolate bars, candy bars, one a day, and that was my college years. I didn't eat what I needed, and my allowance was very small anyway. Like I had $300 a month to live, and that was all. Like I know that the cost of life was relatively small, and I was still 17 years old, and even that was the thing up until I was like 20. That's when my allowance was raised to a little bit more, but I had $300 a month to live because the person managing it thought that was enough, which by the way clearly wasn't. If I would have been to only buy groceries and necessity, it would have been fine. But when you're in your first year of college, you want to go out sometimes. You want to watch movies and you want to go to fun things because you want to make friends and all of that. And it's only normal, like it's unreasonable to expect a college kid to only go to college and go back home and eat. Like I understand that it's a reality for a lot of people who don't have money, but when you can, um by the way, my allowance was my own money. It was managed by someone else because I was too young. So I just want to clear that out. I'm not complaining that someone isn't giving me enough money. I was complaining that my own money was kept from me. Like I understand that the person was trying for me not to spend all of it, but also like $300 was just it was not a lot. That's just it. Like, it was tough. Like I said, you want to go out, and I wasn't exaggerating. I said that I spent a lot of it on my friends and all, but other than that, like, just I would go to the restaurant once every few weeks at that time. Like, it wasn't a big freaking thing, other than my friends financially taking advantage. When that didn't happen, I had good months, but that's still, you use everything on your groceries, and then you have maybe one activity, but one activity a month is not a lot when you're a kid. Like, seriously, it gets really depressing to only ever study and do nothing else. That's what I'm trying to explain. I understand that, like, this might sound privileged, but it's just really the thing. When you only study, it gets so hard, and it gets like that's the only thing you ever do, so you don't want to do it anymore. You never do anything fun. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? And that was escaping by trying to play video games and things. I started to play Minecraft a lot and things like that. But really spending all your time indoors and not doing anything else than video games because you're poor. Well, I wasn't poor, I had the money, but it was not like I couldn't use it. But yeah. And I didn't have the heart at the time to tell the person that 300 was not enough. Um, so I smiled and agreed every time, and I was like, yeah, okay, because I thought I didn't have a choice in the matter, and I couldn't ask for more. I thought I was just gonna be denied. But yeah, it was my own money, like I said. But also that's the thing. When you're really depressed because you can't go out and do stuff, you feel quite bad. And I don't think that, maybe if I had more money available, maybe my friends would have taken advantage more. But also, that didn't happen all the time. Like, that person who was doing that was hanging out with me once or twice a month. And then when they had enough, like, I wouldn't see them for a while. That person was really bad, by the way. Like, she was hanging out with me just because she wanted to use me, and then she would bitch about me to everyone else. And it wasn't only for money, it was also because she thought it was hilarious that I was so weird. That person was not a good person. She changed her personality according to who was in front of her, and she would agree to one thing if you were around her, and then another different person is there, and she's saying the complete opposite. That was the kind of person. And also, like, oh, I don't want you to pay, blah blah blah, but I don't have money to go to the restaurant with you. Just like she was giving me the speech, you know the speech you give someone when you clearly want them to give something to you. When I tell someone I don't have money, I mean that. I mean, like, I'm sorry I can't go out with you. I really cannot. I don't mean, like, please pay for me. Please offer. No, I mean, I really cannot go out right now. And I feel bad when people offer and they're like, oh, but I want you there. Because I know that's taking advantage to just say, hey, I'm sorry, I don't have money. I know, like, that's what people consider taking advantage, but when I say it, I really mean that I can't. I don't know how else to say. Like I can't just pay with an empty account, But for some reason, people think it's abusive to say no to going out when you can't afford it, and that's super weird to me because we all have different budgets, and I feel different budgets, and I feel like if you care about someone, instead of like going, you're always poor, you're always broke, blah, blah, blah. And instead of shaming them or offering to pay, you would find something that was either affordable to them or that didn't cost money to do. Like, just find an activity that's free in your area or something, and get something from the grocery and cook at home. But don't, like, just, oh, I'll pay, it's fine, I want to be with you. Don't do that. And that also makes people feel small, and I understand that people do that to be nice, and which it's okay also to want to treat your friends, and I'm not saying don't do that, but I'm just saying just don't make them feel small for not being able to pay. Just be careful about how you word things, and don't go, oh, you're always broke, so I get it, blah blah blah. And don't go like, yeah, you're lesser than, and things like that, Even if you don't say the exact words, you're lesser than, when you say, I make way more money than you, blah, 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 that's what people feel. So just like, don't make it an issue. If you're gonna treat your friend because you have money, don't like, don't don't brag about that. First of all, try to try not to be a jerk. So I know a lot of people who do it out of their heart. They've helped me with money, and they've done so like very generously because they're decent people, and they just don't like seeing people struggling, and they want to help out their friends. I'm eternally thankful for that, and I like, it blows my freaking mind every time. But I also have the kind of people in my life who will be like, hey, I helped Winter, I'm such a good person, and will tell everyone who wants to hear it how I'm just in such a bad situation because I'm a mess and blah blah blah, and they will just like go on and on about how they are doing such a good thing by helping such a messed up person. Like, I have people in my life who say that stuff, and that's the kind of thing I'm talking to you about. Don't be that kind of person. Be the kind of person, if you wanna treat your friends and be nice to them and help them out, don't be the kind of person that makes them feel like bad. Like, don't go and brag to everyone about it. Do it for the right reasons. And I say this from a perspective of someone who used to have money. Before it ran out, I had a lot of money, and for a while I got a lot of tattoos, I got a lot of things, I bought nice yarns, and I had quite a stash before I sold most of it, and I had a collection of boots, of gothic footwear, and things like that, platforms and all. I had the Lego collection. I had nice stuff, but I had a lot of money at that time. And like, I would invite people to things, and I wouldn't ask for anything. Like, I would try to pay if I could for them because I enjoyed the company, but it's never gonna ever make them feel bad about that. If a friend told me, yeah, I can't afford to go out, I was like, hey, if you're comfortable with me paying, I don't mind, but also we can do that instead. Or hey, I'll go alone to that place, but we can see each other another time and do something else instead, because that's what was important to me at the time, is I just wanted to be around my people, you know. And it just makes me sad that some people use you to be the hero. Like, there are people who do that. There are people who just pretend to care so much, but they actually feel a lot of contempt towards you, and they're just like, whoa, look who needs help again. I'm so good for helping them. There are people who do that, and that's sad. Oh, hi, but there's someone at the door. I'll be right back. Okay. Okay, that's just someone who wanted to come in. That's just a kid who wanted to come in and didn't wanna. They didn't wanna go through the. They didn't wanna wait or use it. I don't know. They just wanted to come in, so they rang my doorbell because I was home. But they weren't here for me. That's what I'm trying to say, very awkwardly. But yeah, I was like trying to explain. And from a place of, I come from a place of having had money in the past, and how you treat people around it matters, you know. But say hello, seriously. Like, people are coming in and leaving likes, and I appreciate that. But also, sometimes I kind of feel like people are just not really interested in hanging out with me, and maybe it's just me being paranoid. I wanted to show my yarns, and I'm not seeing the viewer count right now because I have something open and it has to overlay somewhere. I can't put it on the other side because that's the comments. Um, okay, but yeah, like I was saying, like, I have friends who completely get it and they don't want to make you feel small at all. Like, they're just happy to help you and to be a good friend and to be supportive. And they would never even dream of bragging about that or to make it about themselves. But there are some people who do that stuff. Like, I have people on Facebook who will like make posts about it, and they will like brag actively, or they will remind you every single day that you're in a position where you need their help. Like, I hate when people do that. Like, I had a guy who was messaging me because he had helped me with money, and he was messaging me every day and being like, "Look how I'm such a good person, and you owe me so much, so you have to talk to me." Those aren't the words he was using, but that's the attitude that came with it, you know. Like, I get it, and I want to be thankful, but it sucked. I'm just gonna say it like that. It sucked because you kind of feel like you have to put up with anything they send your way. Like, sometimes they just treat you badly, or they become like just jerks, you know. Or they can be inappropriate sometimes too. Some people do that kind of thing. Like, I talked about it on my live yesterday, but a guy that was interested in buying some of my items ended up harassing me, and I felt very down about that yesterday. I ended up blocking him, but like, that was a huge decision because I'm in a place where I can't really say no to money, you know. So like, I had to endure it for a while, but at some point I just figured out, he's never gonna buy my boots. He's just gonna continue harassing me, and so I blocked him. That was a very hard decision, but I had to take care of myself. So, yeah, well, sometimes it's a fine line between taking care of yourself and taking care of what you need to do for to stay alive, like eating. Let me know how your Saturday is going. I wanted to show you my hand dyed yarns, but if no one stops by, um, I'll just chat instead. I'll just make a community post then and just show them there instead. Um, they were working on some orders again. I need to finish the zombie cats. That's because I still have a bunch of them to make. But they're due like April 22nd, something like that. So I still have quite a bit of time, but I want to take some um, advance on things, like get things going. Because I want to work on other things as well. And I've been working on reducing my whips because I have so many whips. Let me know, do you have a lot of whips that you're trying to reduce too? Like, I feel like spring cleaning time is kind of ideal for me right now for that. But I have an abnormal amount of whips. Right now, I probably have 20 to 30 whips. And not only crochet, but I have too many crochet ones. So I'm trying to get rid of the crochet ones mainly. First and foremost, get rid of the crochet whips. I'm almost done with my Halloween blankets. I just wanted to make more black uh, rounds for the border. Like to have a thick black border around the yellow to make it less overpowering a little bit and to make it look better. Right now I'm just taking a break and making some cat arms. Yes. There. Okay. And I don't even know how I stuffed most of these. It's okay. Such is life. My friend is funny. I was saying I want to play with my hand-dyed yarns instead of working, and she was like, "Such is life." Yes, such is life. But I want to play with my yarns. They're really pretty. Like, I want to show people, but I don't want to just show them in the void either. So that's why I'm waiting to see if um we will have more people coming in and chatting. What do you usually do on weekends? How do your Saturdays usually go? Ugh, I have little fibers sticking to my gloves, and it's really annoying me because I see them move around when I work, and it's really distracting. I'm trying to kind of pick them right now. Okay. If I at least finish a few of the zombie cat stings, maybe I won't like put them together or anything, but just like finish all the limbs. That would be a good thing. But yeah, when I was in college, like my first year, and I had all these like not bad, but like just toxic friends. Like I had a very dysfunctional group of friends. And I had that one person always sticking by me, and she didn't mind me paying all the restaurants and everything for her. Also during that time, like um, I was not doing well in school because it's the first time I was on my own without any help at all. And as an autistic person, of course, like I would have needed help and things, and it was never offered to me because people just assumed I was lazy. So I was thrown out of college at that time. I was just thrown out of college without any help whatsoever because I was said it was up to me to get help, but I didn't know how to do that because nobody told me how. And it's just something that would make sense to most people. They would just go see a person and ask, and they would go see the right person from the get go, and they'd be fine. But me, I don't even know where to begin or what words to even use. I need to be given the full instructions on who to see and who to talk to, because otherwise, people they just sit at their desk, look at me, and ask, "What are you expecting from me right now?" And I don't know what to tell them because I don't know what I'm expecting. I'm just trying to get by. So I didn't know how to do that. I needed a worker with me full time. Like, that's what I need. I need someone to do my paperwork and things and do my phone calls and things for me because I can't do them. But just try and imagine what kind of time it was in college, my first year, to just like not have any help at all. And the first time being on your own, the first time where nobody's telling you to wake up early. I skipped a lot of school. Let me just tell you that. And sometimes it was easier to just not go to school than to feel bad going, you know? Anyway, it was an interesting time. But that happened twice, by the way, being thrown off of college. And it's not like in the United States. Here, college is pre-university, so you don't have a job after you finish college. You have to actually go to school more. Um, Unless you're doing a technique, which is the name of the program, a technique. If you're doing that, you will have a degree after, but it's not the same thing. I was in a pre-university program, so I wouldn't have had a job. And it's really tricky because you don't get any credits. Like, you get cool credits that go towards will you be accepted or not in university, but you don't get any like experience. You can't put that on your resume. Hey, I finished college. Doesn't work like that. In the States, I understand that it does, but here, if I said, "Oh, I just finished college," people are like, "Okay, but you don't have any expertise in this. Like, it doesn't give you anything. Even if you have a diploma, a college diploma, that gives you nothing. That just says, okay, you can go to university now, you know? And you can go to university without one. You have to be over 18 and you have to have work experience in the domain you're studying. But I don't. So that's just great. Until unless I wanted to study in yarn, but there isn't a program for that. I could do textile and fiber arts maybe, but it's not offered here. I have expertise in being allergic to merino, and I like counting merino sheeps in my sleep. That's my work experience. I could technically go into business and management because I have a small business, but I don't have work experience in that because I'm not managing anything that is like registered and fancy and all. For it to count, it would have to be a big corporation or a big brand, sort of, or a brand that is decently sized. But I'm just one person with an Etsy shop, so that doesn't count for them. They don't think it's valid. It's kind of weird how that all works. Like, I just could go to college. Well, right now I can't because my disabilities have increased and I don't have the money anyway. But it's just kind of weird. But anyway, I couldn't really go back to college unless I wanted to study something specific. I'd have to go straight to university. I have to pay for that, and it's quite expensive. I don't have the few $1,000s for one session. It's expensive. I know there are places in the world where it's even more expensive, but to someone who doesn't have money, that's not really a possibility. I don't know why I'm even talking about that because I don't plan on going back. But just like trying to explain, in Quebec it works differently from the rest of Canada too. By the way, the rest of Canada doesn't have CEGEP, which is what I call college because people don't know what CEGEP is. It's a collegial level of education, essentially. So you get a DEC when you finish, which is a college diploma. And in France, college is when you're a kid. And when I tell people I've been to college, they're like, "Great job!" Because to them it means you essentially went to like school as a kid. Like when I used to tell French people I'm in college, they were like, "Really? At 20 years old?" And I was just like, "Use your brain. I'm not from France." Led to some interesting conversations. It's like, don't you know that college is not the same thing here? Um, okay. Anyway, yeah, I was wanting to show my yarns, but since we don't have anyone here right now, I'm not gonna do that. If more people join and come to chat, maybe I will. Other than that, I might go soon, actually. Um, but yeah. Then I'm starting to get hungry too, so maybe after I finish this one arm, I'll just go and eat. I don't think I will be live later because my roommate is coming back. He's just out getting stuff right now. Maybe if he goes out later tonight, I will come back. Since it's the weekend, he might. I don't know. I'm really hungry. So yeah, I just want to finish this arm though, so I don't have to come back to it later and interrupt my tasks. Like I talked about this in the past, but with autism, interrupting a task and coming back to it is really hard, and it's easier for me to just do it. So it's easier for me if I just finish it and then eat, even if um, during the process I'll be miserable. I know it doesn't make sense to people, and people think I'm just like forcing myself, but it, I'm not gonna, like, what I'm trying to explain is I'm not gonna be tempted to finish this later in the day if it's not finished and it's halfway through, you know? Like, just a halfway through arm is harder to start, well, to finish than to just start a new one. Because right now I'm in my groove, and the brain process is already engaged. I don't have to restart the whole machine, you know? But that might sound silly to have to restart the whole machine for just a crocheted zombie cat arm that is so small. But that's what it is. I have to restart the whole brain process and things. Like, I have to relaunch the app, you know? And that sounds stupid, but that's what it is. Neurodivergent brain. My neurodivergent brain is a little bit faulty, so. But also, I'm kind of. I don't know. Like, sometimes I have. Yeah, I don't want to talk about that. I'm not feeling too good right now. I think I'll go soon. Um, the rest of the day is probably gonna be me working on these. I might actually switch projects, but I should really not. I should at least finish the arms and the tails, maybe. I'm also like already starting to get burnt out over doing these. They're not exactly a fun thing to do. They have a lot of color changes, and then I really enjoy doing that. Not that they're hard. It's just annoying to have to pull the thread through every time and then work over your tails when you're cutting the color and blah blah blah. It's just tedious, and I'm pissed about it, essentially. Like, here I have to pull the next color through, and then I have to work over the tails, but then I have to pull my scissors, which are far from me, as if they were close. The tail of the yarn would always brush over them and misplace them. So I had to accommodate for that and to just put them away. But then after that, I have to move to get them. And the problem with that is, maybe to you it seems mundane to just move forward and grab something, but I'm in sweat right now. I'm sweating every from every inch of my body. And that's what it's like to have hyperhidrosis. I don't want to give you too many details, but right now I'm like sweating profusely. And yes, just grabbing scissors makes me sweat. I know that sounds stupid, but that's what it is. That's what hyperhidrosis is. I sweat by just um, placing a strand of hair, and I'm not even joking. Like right now, I have to change shirts. I'm sorry if that's too much information, maybe, but it is true nonetheless. Like maybe most people don't understand. They're like, well, just grab your scissors and stop thinking about being sweaty and you'll be okay. Like I get comments sometimes not on YouTube but like from people in my life will just stop thinking about the fact that your whole clothes are wet. But I'm sorry, I know that I complain a lot on stream. Yeah. um I understand like a lot of people don't really like me because I'm like this. I don't really know how else to be. I don't have interesting things to say. That's the thing. If I don't talk about that, I don't know much of what else I have to talk about. Like, I talk about politics and things, but that doesn't interest most of my viewers. Um, I'm trying to aim for a little bit more of a general viewing rather than just focusing on the fiber arts community because I don't want to be a crochet channel, but I do a lot of crochet on camera, so I understand that I'm just attracting that crowd for now. But I want more LGBTQ plus people. Not that I don't appreciate my viewers that I have right now, I do, but I wish I had a crowd to talk about those issues because right now I'm more on an educational basis. You know, I'm talking to people who maybe they appreciate learning about this stuff and maybe they're finding it interesting to hear me talk as an autistic person about my experience and my struggles and to vent and rant and all that. Maybe like it's a nice learning experience, but I also kind of wish I had people who get it to talk those things over, you know. So that's what I'm trying to say. I just wish I had a more diverse range. And I hang out in a lot of different spaces online, but like most places you can't just say, hey, come to my channel and talk about things. A lot of people here in our little um, area of YouTube, if I can say, I don't know how to say it, are like that, and they have comments, Nightbot comments to put your links in the description, in the chat, not in the description, but in the chat and everything. But like most channels don't have that. So I can't exactly just go on a political channel, on a queer channel, and just say, hey, come hang out. Like I can't do that. So that's why like it limits viewership, but also I would have to advertise my own stuff in many spheres. But I don't have 20 Instagram accounts to for every one of my interests. I have one personal account and one professional account for my crochet stuff. But then it gets hard to advertise to a bunch of different people, you know? And they don't advise doing that anyway. They advise advertising to one crowd. That's what's most profitable, you know? Like it's kind of how can I explain this and be gentle? but it's kind of like, I don't know, I'm blanking, I'm sorry. Essentially what I'm trying to get at is I can't have 10 different audiences all at the same time and cater to all of them. I just wish I had people to talk about that stuff, that's all. I hope I'm not coming off as rude. Like, maybe it's from me wanting to do it all, but also it feels lonely. Because every time I talk about that, well, I know that my friend Ian gets it. Like, he's trans and he's neurodivergent and he has mental health issues, and we have kind of similar political ideals and all, so we can talk about that stuff. But X person from just the crochet community who might not even have met a queer person in their life. Maybe they're open to learning, and that's super cool, and I love that. But they're not gonna have a super intense conversation with me about trans rights because they don't know about that stuff. They're gonna be listening, you know? And so there's not really any kind of debate or conversation happening. Like I said, I understand. It's just my need for conversation is not always met on my YouTube channel. It is sometimes in other spaces, but the problem with other spaces is I don't control them. I don't control rude people coming in and insulting others, and especially me. Like, if someone is rude to me on another space, I can't just boot them. That's not up to me, you know? But over here, if someone is disrupting the chat or being a troll or insulting my viewers or something, I can just like remove them. If we get transphobes, I can just remove them, you know? I've done that a few times. We had one troll, but I've had other hateful things. I've had people come in and just leave after finding out I'm trans. I've had both of these. It doesn't happen too much though, because I have subscriber mode on. So I don't want people coming in and um saying things and then leaving. We don't like trolls over here. Um, Not bad ones anyway. Anyway, yeah, but I feel like yeah, I'm starting to understand that people are getting bored of me, sort of. Anyway, I know that I talk a lot about this, and now I'm going to eat, so I'm gonna wish you all a good day. I don't know if I'll be coming back today. Like I said, my roommate is gonna be home soon, so I'm not gonna be able to go live for the rest of the day. But yeah, I just wanted to say I wanted to show my yarns, but no one came in. I got some lurkers. But maybe I'll try to show my yarns again. I'll change the title to not be misleading. I don't want people to like click on the video expecting to see yarn and then not having yarn. But I'll show them on my community tab instead. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope we all have a good day. Right now I have money struggles. If you want to help me out, that would be really appreciated. My bank account is pretty much empty right now. So if you want to help out, all my links are in the chat right there. The Ko-fi link has a fundraiser to help with bills and necessities and things like that. So other than that, I really hope you have a good day. I'm gonna try to eat. I'm gonna try to sort out the sweat situation because that sucks. But anyway, thank you all. Hope you have a good day. Bye.